it's a burden to be a leader.
It is.
First of all,
yes,
people don't get that.
Big time.
In your marriage, whether you want it or not, you're the leader.
It takes leadership.
God has ordained you as the head.
You are the head.
And guess what? Everybody in that house is under your leadership.
That's it, dog.
But a lot of people don't want to follow. light bulb moment.
Big time light bulb, bro.
You know,
everybody right now is saying, that's the light bulb.
And it's exhausting.
That's real, bro.
It's exhausting because you actually never really get a chance to say, screw it.
Peace. Welcome to the Light Bulb Lessons Podcast. I'm your host, T.O. Clay, and it's my goal to bring fresh perspectives and thought-provoking conversations to help others learn and grow. On the Light Bulb Lessons Podcast, we talk with professional leaders who share the organic life lessons. Our conversations are inspired by the conversations we used to have back in the day when we gathered in parks and on street corners, discussing valuable life lessons and experiences in our communities. It's time to turn on the lamp, yo, and let's shine.
Peace. We up in here. To everybody out there, just want to say hello. Shooting live. Always say, starting off, I love the fact that, God has blessed me to be in a position to be around so many great leaders. Over all the years, a lot of you out there, my background in terms of the military and all of that. I came to Atlanta in 2018, and in 2018, I met a gentleman. That gentleman, he's near and dear to my heart. He's sitting right here next to me, Mr. Braxton Cosby. Again, I always say my introductions are organic. I just want to say this to anybody out there checking us out. Man, this man right here, like I told him, it's only a few people that I can look at and say, man, dog, like, if I could just level up a little bit to that gentleman, I know I'm in a good space, man. Braxton is amazing. My whole entire family, from mom, dad, brother, sister, my wife, my children, we all think so much of this man.
Amen.
And his wife and his family. And that brotherhood has just been a blessing, man. So, I could go on and on. We say all the time, man, Braxton, he everything, man. Whatever you need. Hey, Braxton's gonna come through, man.
Amen.
And but again, man, all jokes aside, bro, I just really want you to know, man, that I respect you, bro, and I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to sit with you, man. Like I said before, hey, you're a high-powered professional, man, and I've been able to learn from you. I've been able to check you out, man, from afar, even though I live next door to you.
Yeah.
But man, I just really, from the depths of my soul, appreciate you, man. So without further ado, man, my man Braxton Cosby, man, how you feeling tonight, man? What's up with you?
I'm feeling good, man. Again, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
And all those great words you said, man, I really appreciate that, man. Like I said, we met back in 2018, and my life was chaotic at the time. And I still, to this day, always can say, man, you know what? The people who believe stories out there without talking to you are the ones I don't mess with.
That's
and there was a story out there, and you believed it from just meeting me a little bit. And I always respected that, man. I always appreciate that because, shoot, I had family who believe whatever they heard,
That's right.
And you came from a point like, nah, man, I met this dude, I got a good vibe.
Yeah, man.
And that's not me. And, so that I appreciate that, man. Y'all family has always been great to us. We've always been able to kick it. Y'all have meant a lot to us, because you don't get it. Nobody's perfect. And if what I can give is honest and y'all can receive it and give it back, I'm good, man. I don't ask anybody to be perfect because I'm not. So I always say, hey, if I give you grace, just give me grace. And y'all have always done that. So much appreciation and respect to y'all, man. And, y'all invited us down for your retirement.
Right.
And that was just a great moment, just seeing that illustrated with a father, with his sons.
Right.
And the men who you became somewhat of a surrogate father to.
Absolutely. Who
were under you, and then your wife celebrating. It was just a great moment for me, man. I really appreciated being a part of that,
man.
And being invited into y'all space to do that, because I saw a lot of people celebrating you that day, and I was just glad to be there. You know what I'm saying? Especially not having been through the entire road.
Absolutely.
Just a snapshot at the end
Yes.
But I can feel all of that. And, you know, we've talked about it. Like, I'm like, man, you got to write a book.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I've taken kind of a lot of that angle of the way you came through and even put it into the way I write now. Some of the stuff just to kind of bring it low level, like eye level kind of stuff, man. So it's been great. It's been great, man. And our camaraderie, our friendship has been amazing. And so I'm just grateful to be here, man. We just chop it up.
Yeah,
you know?
Always, man. That's what I always say, Braxton. The light bulb lessons, man, is these organic moments, man, that we can share just as men, bro. And like I say, man, like having you as my neighbor, man, it's been an absolute blessing.
Amen, man.
You know what I'm saying? You take care of me, man. If you ever out there on the grill, you all, hey, nigga, man, you need something, man, come on over here and get you one of these lamb chops. You know what I'm saying? And balls the drinks, you know what I'm saying? You always lace me.
You know,
our kids interact amazing. Wives interact amazing, man. So, man, it's been a blessing. Sure. It really has, dog. For those of you out there, hey, I'm a kinfolk of Ali. My man, hey, he's kinfolk of Bill Cosby.
Amen.
I know anybody out there that, okay, Cosby is, how's that been for you, man? Just as far as when people meet you and they hear the last name, just, I'm sure throughout your life, many people just ask you, not even just as soon as they hear the last name, because it's been the same for me, man.
Always.
Yeah.
That's all they would say. Like, you related to, so when I was young, I used to always say, yeah. And then I would say, people automatically say, nah, you lying.
Right.
So then
I get that too.
When I got after a while, I started saying, yeah. And then they say, nah, you lying. I said, nah, you right. They say, nah, you are, I can tell. So you can't win. They didn't like either response. And the fact that you just kind of let it die, now they believe it.
Like,
and now it's internet. So people just Google me and then it's, you know, all these articles when me and him went out for book signing. We went on a book tour that was amazing.
Yeah.
And so all that stuff lights up. Right. So now you can't get around it.
No doubt.
And so now when people say it, I just be like, nah. Because I don't even feel like having a conversation around it,
and that's
anymore.
That's
it's just old, you know. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, talking about father figure example, this stuff was played out on TV the way it was. I saw this thing the other day, it was crazy. Because a lot of people on my uncle's show was based off of his family. Right. 4 girls, 1 boy.
You talking about the Cosby show? Okay.
And then so Malcolm Jamal Warner was doing an interview the other day. He was on, at least they showed the clip. I saw it on social media. He was talking on the Breakfast Club. And they were like, what was that like for the...
Yo, he didn't die, did he?
No, Malcolm Jamal Warner?
Yeah.
No, he's still around.
Okay.
Yeah, you know all this fake stuff.
Yeah,
all this stuff is trash.
On YouTube yesterday that said he just died like 10 minutes ago.
This is a new challenge. I've heard about this. This is crazy, y'all. Stop believing this nonsense. It's the new challenge is like the famous person challenge. Like you make them a lie and you just say they died and everybody goes to look for it. You know?
Yeah, it goes viral.
Yeah, so what I understood, he's not dead. But like but he was saying that he went in for the audition. He was the last person that day. And he said he went in and he said he killed the audition. And they had him saying stuff like being like a smart aleck. So he took an angle at the time to be like a smart aleck parent. And he said the only person in the room that didn't laugh was Mr. Cosby. And he looked at me. And I'm kind of looking at him to see like, you know, what he gonna say. He said, "Would you really talk to your father like that?"
Wow, that's real though.
And he said, he was like, "No, sir." He said, "Come back tomorrow and do that again."
Wow.
Like, and I've seen him check people like this all the time, and the room goes quiet.
Yes.
And you feel like shrinking.
Wow.
Because he like, I guess like, you know how when you play on the record and it goes, and the needle gets taken off. That's how it is. That's how it is with him. And I've seen it so many times. You know what I'm saying? And so when he told me that it was real, I was like, yeah. That's how he would do it. You know what I mean? Crazy. And he said he went back and he came out the next time and killed. He said, but at the time, it was like, they said they were looking for a 6'2" 15-year-old. They're like, ain't nobody 6'2" 15. They say, Ennis is 6'2" at 15.
That's right.
So he said he didn't match up in the height, but he was at least, I think, one of the biggest people who auditioned for the role. So
that's dope, man.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff, man. I'm sure with Ali, I remember you told me a couple of things that happened with you with him. So
yeah, man. It's like you said, sometimes, you know, Clay. And now, especially, you know, with Cassius, man.
That's it.
That's it, bro.
I made my Black Bounty Hunter story, Cassius.
Is that
the main character, named after his son.
That's peace.
Yeah,
it's actually crazy, man. I was looking at that one video, man, and I told you, I said, yo, because to me, man, like when we first moved here, you know, we found out you was a Cosby. I was like, man, just like everybody else. I want to be kid of Bill Cosby, dog. You know what I'm saying? We banged it up. The first thing that pulled up was you and your uncle at the book signing. I was like, wow, dog, we in the crib, like, yo, it's bugged out. You know, and obviously, you know, a lot of the, you know, that was just the beginning of when a lot of that, you know, stuff was going down with him. So, you know, just out of respect for you and your family, I was like, man, you know, I won't bring that up to him, say anything to him about any of that. You know, but over time, man, like I said, man, getting to know you, bro, you know what I'm saying? Let's get one thing clear. You know, a shout out to Mr. Bill Cosby.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, if you black and you looking at this, you already know what time it is, man.
That's right.
And that's what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, man. Dude was doing an interview with some guy, and he said, man, Mr. Bill Cosby's crib up in New York said he had leather floors, yo. You know what I'm saying? And that really bugged me because I was like, yo, that's ill, bro. Like, I ain't heard that before. You know, 46 years old. I've never heard nobody say, yo, had all leather floors. So I said to the Braxton, I'm like, oh, yo, your uncle, dog, he had the ill leather floors up in New York. And like you said, he's like, man, I remember that, man. As a young fella, seeing those floors, man. So just that full circle is amazing, man. But hey, I said in your presence, you know, I get it from a lot of people, Braxton, you know, we love Ali. I remember being out in the Philippines, man, and when they saw my name on the name tape, yo, they was going nuts. Like, dog, like 50 cats around me, like I'm Ali.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And they fixing me the little local foods and all of that, man. A lot of love, but I tell you, man, I love Bill Cosby, bro. You know, and I know there's a lot of people watching this today that understand it from the black angle. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill Cosby opened the door for, come on, man. Like we don't even have to say, man. And, you know, one of my favorite movies of all time, you know what I'm saying? You know, is, well, actually, I'll start with Fat Albert's my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Always going to be my favorite. You know, making beats. I used to sample it all the time and whatnot. But the movie, you know, with him and Sidney Poitier, man.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. When it's like the illest, dog. You know what I'm saying? And when you go back and you look at that, I didn't know that was filmed here in Atlanta, Braxton. I did not know that, bro, until, you know, a few months ago. But every time I go back and look at it, man, I just love that era. I love what they stand for. And again, man, you know, but to meet you and to see, man, total stand alone, bro. Like, never one time have you, yo, Bill Cosby, my uncle. It ain't never been that, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He family. But the light bulb lesson is, dog, what you have done. You know what I'm saying? You've taken ownership of your life and moved forward and done, you know, amazing, miraculous things throughout your life. And I'm excited to continue to see where you're going with the next phase, bro. And I'm here to support you, man.
Y'all, and again, mad respect for all the support y'all have given. You know what I'm saying? Y'all come to book signing. We've done those Kickstarters. Y'all done it. Y'all have always been present. And I think that's what we just need. Like I tell people all the time, even if you just come to the Kickstarter, you give $1.
No doubt.
Even if when I post something, you just say congratulations. I believe in the spiritual movement behind stuff way more than the monetary and the physical. I think if you can just, I see like oceans.
Yeah, man.
And I see oceans of spirituality, like with forces moving.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And so when I can just feel that behind me, regardless if I haven't sold a book yet, but I know people are behind me and I feel that spiritual push, I know I'm in the right place, you know? So to me, that's more important than anything that people give. But, you know, see a post, reshare it, like it, love.
Yeah, man.
Let that love and that spirituality just push people forward, you know, and y'all have done that. And a lot of you guys out there have done it too, man. So thanks a lot for all your support. But that's all I think we can do as a people, man. Like, we just have to keep supporting one another because the movement is still going.
Yes.
The movement is not dead. We've got leaders out there that they would love to continue to destroy, break down, mutilate. Honestly, when you think about the slave days, this is about mutilation. And they attack and they want to continue to bring us down. But, you know, Black people are great people, man.
That's right.
Regardless of what anybody says. 100%. So this isn't about other hate.
No, not at all.
This is about Black love.
It's pride, bro.
And respect.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should respect their ethnicity.
Yes.
We're all part of the human
And
race.
culture. Yeah, man.
Human race, but we've got ethnicity behind us. We've got culture behind us. You know what I'm saying? And you should love it and you should respect it. You should learn about it. You should educate yourself about it. And that way you can just feel better.
Right.
You know, what is it to be a man? What is it to be a Black man, white man, Latino man, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
What is it to be a spiritual person?
Yes.
You know, I mean, what does all this mean to you? You know, you are identified by the things that people see visually, but you also identify what's in here too. You know what I'm saying? And you should really continue, because what I've done in my life for these 46 years, I continue to just peel the onion back to get to know who I am. What are my triggers? If somebody said this or did this to me, why did that bother me? Where is that coming from?
Right.
Well, you know, when I really think about it, it's because this happened to me. Okay, so what do I have to do to get over that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This can't just continue to be God putting this stuff on me to make me better. This has to be me realizing why I have a problem with this. And how do I go back and I call it reverse engineering. How do I change this? And that's so much about writing. I have a character at the end who's going to do this magnificent thing to get over something. How do we get them from point A to part B? So when people see this ending, that they've gone on this journey, so there's some things I got to put along the way that's going to continue to build this character up. So when they do this at the end, I say, aha, yeah, he's ready.
Right.
It can't just be all of a sudden I'm the little protagonist and I fight this huge 50-foot creature at the end and beat him.
Nah.
How does that happen in 2 hours? We got to build you up. So that's the same thing with us.
Right.
You feel me? Like, we got these houses now. We got this environment. We got these families. We got these things we've accomplished. I mean, you know, you've done so much in the military. How did you get there?
Right.
Is that believable? But is it believable though?
God.
You feel me?
Period.
But is it believable?
Yeah.
See, if I go back into your story, then I say, oh yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
I definitely understand how this man did this.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so when we used to see Bill Cosby on TV, a Black doctor and a Black lawyer, none of that made sense.
Right. Right.
Before we could get white folks to accept and embrace that, I had to get over it.
No doubt.
Because where did this exist?
That's your uncle.
That's crazy. Like, what is he talking about?
That's crazy.
You feel me?
No,
I feel you. I couldn't wrap my head around it.
I feel you.
You know? But then when you look at the story and you see how you get from here to there, then it makes sense. You know, so that's life, right? So that's why I love writing now, because I'm writing its real story. There may be a fictional prose, but the journey of the character, that's all us. It's all us. There's a story behind everybody getting somewhere. You know what I mean? Maybe the people who got bumped up the line because of what they had, family, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, there's a journey, and that journey is going to resonate with somebody. So I just need to find the audience who this story speaks to.
Right.
You see?
Yeah, man. I think of the book by Donald Miller called Business Made Simple. And I love that book, Braxton, because he makes it clear as day, you know, that transformation.
Right.
You are the guy. They're the hero.
Right.
You know, tell the story and get them where they need to go.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, solve their problem. Whatever their problem is.
Right.
Remove yourself.
Right.
Because as leaders, a lot of times we want to be the guy. We want to be that dude. So it's like, no, subdue myself, you know, and everybody wants to Batman and Robin. You know what I'm saying? Robin, Batman's the hero, but Robin is that dude that's guiding.
That's right.
Robin's the dude behind him saying, hey, nah, Bruce, do this, do that. You know, those small little tweaks. So I love it, man. I love the fact that, you know, you could make it clear and simple as pie, man, and you're writing like that, man. But yeah, man. All jokes aside, man. So with that being said, man, talk to me about, you know, your college days, man. Where did you go to college? What was that like for you, man?
I went to the U, the real U, the U in the South, Florida.
Okay.
Coral Gables.
Okay.
I was raised in Miami, Florida. And so I never even intended to go to school locally. I didn't want to. I wanted to go out. I felt like I needed to get out and
get
be
out
around.
And explore
Absolutely. And just be out of my environment. But I was heavily recruited by the coach there for track. And I was actually on my way to going somewhere else. And then at the end, I changed my mind. I said, I'm going to stay here. And he always, much respect to Coach Rodney Price.
Right.
He was like, look, if you ever want to leave after you come here, you let me know and I will honor that. You know what I'm saying? So I was
dope.
like, being home, whatever, let's just try it. So it was crazy because University of Miami is literally like 30 to 40 minutes from my house.
Okay.
So I never felt like I left, but my mom didn't bother me when I was there. Family kind of stayed their place. So even though I wasn't out of the state, I felt like I was away.
Right.
And, just kind of, went through a whole lot of life lessons, obviously, with college, man. And got a chance to just really kind of dig into me a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, became self-sufficient, independent. Track helped bring discipline to me, structure, and organization.
Okay.
And I always say that, military.
Yeah.
Military or sports, those type of people are very different.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not disciplined in either one, you're not going to stay. You're going to wash out,
100%.
And so, waking up 7 o'clock, be in the first class, 8 o'clock, being done by 2 with all classes, get to the track at 3, grind that out till 6, by 8, get home, get some sleep, repeat.
Hey, that's it, dog.
And somewhere in here, you got a little personal life with the dudes and with the ladies, you know? And so it was a big challenge, man, with undergrad, but I had a great time. I made some really good friends and teammates and stuff. So, and of course, if you tapped into God, man, it's always going to be a learning process. Everything was learning, man. It was trials, it was success, failures, and always learning like, okay, God, you still got me on the hook. What am I supposed to be doing? You know what I'm saying? So that reliance on God for guidance, it never left. No matter what you do, it's always going to be something. I feel like there's always something hanging over you that he's grooming you through to be better for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Bro. So it was good. And I don't take anything from University of Miami. I had a great time. We were the real good Hurricanes back then. Now,
that's what I was about to
and
ask
no hating on y'all now, but man, it's a struggle, boy. Looking at the boys play.
What year?
Oh no, this was Ray Lewis time.
Oh,
so
sir. Yes,
we had Ray, we had Ed Reed was there.
Yeah, man.
When I first got there, Dwayne Johnson was there.
Ah, wow. I forgot he played for the U.S.
So he was there. He was there, but he really didn't play. Because he had people in front of him. You had freaking Warren Sapp. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
So them boys was real. And I just remember not even having to look at the game. Like, you just knew they were going to beat somebody. They were going to blow them out, murk them.
Yes.
And I remember, I think it was my junior or senior year being there when they had that streak at the Orange Bowl, won like 50 plus games straight.
Wow. And
they lost, man. And I was at that game. Yeah. And I think it was Washington. And
talking about University of Washington?
Yeah, man. They came in there and upset them. I can't remember the name of the running back. I can't remember the name of the running back, but he just ran all over them. And it was like everybody in the stadium was shocked because, they weren't good. But they just happened to just play that game. They brought it. And that running back ran all over Miami. And that's when we lost that streak, man. It was crazy. And after that, it just seemed like we'd never gotten back to that skill set. And that. So, we've had some solid years, but Miami's not the same. But the basketball squad is coming around.
Right. Oh, and Jim Larinaga. I like Jim Larinaga.
And so, athletically, Miami's always going to have, Georgia just won a championship.
That's right.
SEC. I went to LSU for a year for track and field. And SEC is no joke.
Oh, no doubt.
It's some riders.
Yeah.
When I tell you, athletics there is a different level.
Right.
I met some people it just seemed like they were made in the lab.
So Braxton, let's break this down.
Mm-hmm.
So the young lady, she just ran for University of Kentucky, light skinned.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
She's white.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she's white. A lot of people know her. She can ride out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know she's got a lot of commercials out there. I see her. What's the one cat, man, that competed with Usain? Gatlin.
Yeah. Gatlin back in the day.
What school did he run?
I think it was Tennessee.
Mm-hmm, okay. Mm-hmm.
That's all SEC there.
I'm just trying to think of all the big names like Maurice Green. Maybe?
Maurice Green. I don't know where Maurice went. I think he was UCLA. He might have been West Coast because he stayed out there. Okay. But they've had some people over. the LSU women alone. They've won like 11 championships indoor in a row.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Got your girls from
Florida
out of there.
Yes. Florida won last year. I think they double men and women. I think they won both.
Yeah.
And then Texas is now in the SEC. So it's hot in the SEC now, and so whenever I see some of these Texas schools doing good, I know I'll be like, yep, Yeah, I'm not surprised because when they added A&M and Texas, they just opened it all up, man. It just got crazy. So yeah, so it's good seeing the SEC out there, Auburn, Alabama, just competitive, just people just love sports, So,
true, man.
So yeah, when I ran, it was the Big East,
right,
and that's gone now. You know what I mean? And now Miami's in the ACC, so I think that's half of the problem because it's some players in the ACC too, you know. But I think it just overall it's going to make Miami a better team in the long run because they're going to play better competition. I mean, we were playing people like Boston College and some of these other little cupcake games. I don't think they were really as competitive as they needed teams to be early on, but not ACC like every week, man. You playing somebody that could potentially take you out.
Too. They are, man.
So I think just overall in all sports, the ACC is just going to continue to level up, and I think eventually we'll be in that conversation of ACC, SEC, like it should have been, long ago.
Right. So we're all about leadership. Simple question, man. You been, a college athlete running track. Now, one of your daughters is out there running track.
Right.
Leadership wise, how does that make you feel? What does that mean to you to see her out there competing, man?
It's interesting because when you have children, at least for me, you become, at some point you're a parent, and after a while you become almost like a coach.
Yeah.
And like I had this conversation with my oldest at one point. I told her, I said, hey, you become a young adult, but then eventually an older adult, and then you're just gonna be like the rest of us. I said, so my thing is, you either gonna take the coaching that I can give you and take the advice. Trust me, I've been through the same roads you've been through. It may be a little bit of a wrinkle difference, but at the end of the day, I've been through them. So my thing is, okay, what did I learn along the way that I can give to you? So you don't have to make the same mistakes I made on those paths, So either you want to take the advice or you don't. And, young people don't really get it.
Especially from that.
Until they start experiencing life. And then they come back to you. Man, you said, and I don't even be asking, and I don't get anything out of that.
Absolutely.
What I get is I'm grateful that you're at least starting to pick up the lessons and that you have an opportunity to come to somebody who has some sense. Let's talk about the situation. You want to do X, Y, and Z? Let's talk about the options, pros and cons. And then we're going to pray on them. And then you're going to have your little way of you hearing from God when you feel like he's telling you what to do. And then you just make the decision. You know that you've gone through the right channel. That's it. A lot of experience for me is, did I go through the right channels? Did I have godly counsel? Did I have people in my corner who I trust? And did I go to them and honestly say, hey, what should we do? And look at everything. When you just make those emotional decisions, that's all on you. And then you'll never really know. So even if the door gets closed, but you went through it the right way, now you're learning this relationship with God. Hey, I got a situation. I get godly counsel. I talk to the right people. I put it before you. You tell me what to do. I feel you tell me what to do, and I work on it.
Listen,
And then if it don't work, or sometimes it does, like, oh, great, that's grace.
I
got that, what I wanted. That's mercy. I got what I shouldn't have. I can come back, and the next situation comes up, I'm in practice. I'm just continuing to do it that way. I said, you just really need organization and structure to how you make decisions when you get older. A lot of people just do something randomly. They just start to, just know that when you have a system, and the system is chain of command, right? When you have that system in place and it works, now you don't have to be so confused all the time, and get anxious about them because, like, hey, I did this last time, even though I didn't get exactly what I wanted, at least I felt I was secure in myself and content that the system will work. Absolutely. So so that's what I'm trying to just impart to them. And I just keep getting a new child gets older, start having that conversation. So I'm graduating from dad to coach. So when I see my middle child out there running, I'm coaching. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about track stuff.
I noticed we was down at Archer High School. She was running. You had the coach's stand.
Oh man, that's how you be. That's how you be.
That's how you be. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, and you have to, and I take a little bit from what I've learned from all the coaches I've had, who I thought were great coaches, all in their own right. And then I take that from the time that I did coach in high school. I went back to my old high school and coached the team for 2 years.
That's amazing.
And we ended up taking those kids to the state, championship, got in the finals and stuff. So that was a great compliment. You're talking about young men in the hood. I'm talking about I'm literally going and buying track shoes for them. There is no funds coming from the high school. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally driving to grab them like an hour before their race because they have no car to get to the track meet. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it was those types of journeys where you like, man, you got to keep your head on a swivel when you go to these neighborhoods too. Because you riding them in this nice car, people looking, Miami's a whole nother country within itself when you talk about the hood.
Shout out to Miami. I know you told me stay away from Florida. So that opportunity arrives. I called my man. He's like, nah, bro, we good here in Georgia.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that again. But Miami, mad love. I grew up in the hood myself, so I understood it.
Right.
But I understood that just because I saw this thing the other day say, thank God I don't look like where I came from.
That's man, come on, bro.
What a blessing. And so anytime I get a chance to talk to young cats, and I just tell them, like, we didn't set this up. We didn't make the ghetto. We were put in the ghetto.
Absolutely.
So when you come out of it, everybody gets all, oh, I can't believe that. But this is redemption. Black people are living a redemption story. Right. You know what I mean? We're trying to get back to the greatness that we are.
Yes.
And so anytime I can do that, man, and I can really talk to young Black people and give an opportunity to just give them some words of wisdom or just encouragement.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of encouragement in the hood. You know what I mean? Right. I give it to them for free, man.
Yeah. Speaking of giving the young Black people, man, I physically have witnessed Mr. Braxton Cosby walk in my house with a whole layout of all his books that he's authored, different series, and hand them to my sons and just see that interaction and what it means to them, my sons, man, we know Mr. Braxton and he's given us his created work. So again, man, perfect segue to that, man. I know in my heart, man, you're a writer, you're an author. It's something that is near and dear to you. Yeah. How did that all come about, man?
Yeah. I tell you, writing has been so therapeutic for me.
Right.
To get words out. I mean, I think about my 18th book just came out,
Wow.
And
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. And I was a child who I was taken out of my hood environment to go to a white school in Miami Beach.
Okay.
I remember the first time I went to Miami Beach and I was walking down the street to go get like a little drink from the store. I remember this little white lady saying, "Why are you here?" And I didn't know what that meant. You know what I mean? What do you mean, why am I here? You know what I mean?
I'm supposed to be here.
And so that's the way they looked at it, though.
Right.
So that was kind of my first eye-opening experience. Like, wow, I'm hearing this almost like a new territory. Because my mom knew a lady who worked at the school, Bunch Park, shout out elementary. And she was a teacher there. So I got a permissive transfer to go there. She didn't want me going to the schools in the hood. So they sent me out there. So that was, and I remember just sitting in there crying because I was like, why are these white people? Like, I don't see nobody I know.
Nobody look like me.
And then so, and she was my teacher. So she understood, and so just kind of went through that whole thing. And I remember they used to make us read out loud back then. They would have the books and they say, all right, now you read this section. They had a little, and then white kids, you could just tell they had been groomed from the womb to read. I mean, they just running through words. And I'm trying to keep up with what they're saying. And all of a sudden, Braxton, now you read. And it's like, and I'm struggling through words to read them. Some of the words I don't know these words. And when you get to a word and you trying to like, and one of the white kids will finish the sentence for you. Say character. And you're like.
And you already feel alienated.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And it rattled me, man. I used to hate it. I used to have tears in my eyes trying to get through the words. Right. And now you trying to read with your eyes are watering up. It's already hard enough. You're nervous, anxious, and these kids are waiting to jump in and finish your sentence. It was a lot.
All right.
So when I get to the point now, man, and my grandmother was an educator, taught for 47 years. She passed away, and I never got a chance to finish. I never even got called to write at that point. But like when I look at it now and I write, and I'm thinking like, man, my grandma would have been amazingly proud.
She's watching
to know that. Absolutely. Yeah. But to see them books now, she'd have lost her mind, man. Because she was old school teaching, Yeah. And so when I think about it now, and I just get a chance to continue to develop these stories and play with these series. I literally have 3 big series that I'm working on all the time at any one time. It's great. It's great because I get a chance to really kind of not just tell a story, but to actually make characters who I think have weight to them. And like, whether I'm writing a superhero series, science fiction series, even now the new zombie joint that I got with the dystopian, I feel like I'm writing characters who have weight that are 360 degree rounded. if people actually start to, even if it's superhero, like, nah, superhero character can't get that deep. Nah, it's a lot going on with these people, you know? And so when I wrote these characters, I just thought I would start with a foundation of what their hurt is, you know. And I've studied writing more and more. They talk about building characters. You always start with a mortal wound, because we all get them somewhere in here. You know, you may get a mortal wound, 38 years old, you know, wife divorced you. I think about Jeremy Renner. He tried to stop a tractor plow from hitting his car, jumped in and got ran over. Now they say he may lose his leg. That may be a mortal wound in himself.
Yes.
You know, that sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's just in here. But we start off with it somewhere. Give that character that mortal wound, because honestly, that's the thing that they're going to continually try to fix through the rest of their life. And it's going to play out. You know, I was the type of dude in school when we were coming up, you don't step on anybody's sneakers. And if you do, that gives you the right to hit them and to get in a fight. It's stupid, but that's how we were raised.
That's how we were raised.
But again, where is that coming from?
Yeah,
that's that mortal wound. That's that mortal wound. That's that thing of, I can't just go out and buy a whole brand new pair of sneakers next week.
Right.
My grandma worked hard for this. So when I get to the store and she say, you got this budget to get them sneakers, I'm being very, I pick that sneaker and I don't want nobody stepping on, because I don't know when I'm getting another pair again. Now these kids, they get a whole new J next week, next month. And if they don't, they get mad and somebody else will get it from. Our stuff was like that. So my mortal wound was, if I got it, it's mine, and I'm a value it, and you better not touch it. You know, when you write these characters like that, how are they all continuing to live off of that mortal wound? And what does it look like? So if you put them in a place, you put Timothy Clay in a setting, and you know his mortal wound, and you see an outside character poking at that, now as a writer, as a reader or an audience, you spend and go, ooh, boy, I know he about to go off. Because they already know you now.
Yeah, they know
They know you. They know that character. I was looking at
that makes sense.
I was looking at
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Tarantino, he writes a lot of great stuff. But he wrote this movie I looked at called The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
And Samuel Jackson was in there.
Yes.
And they kind of started off with Sam's character. No, he's not in this one.
Okay.
It was Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson, yeah.
But he was in it. And the white folks kind of started going off with this, nigga that. And I already know Sam's character.
Yes.
And I'm already going like, you know, so that's good writing. That's when I've already set you up. You know that character. And you know that once they start pressing the button, you can just anticipate.
Wow.
So that's what I try to do more and more of my writing, is how to put these people in situations where I've already given you enough about them, their social proof, their skill set. Like if I talk about Tim, and I'm talking about, man, you know, he's a sniper. I set him up on the range. I introduce the audience to him from the jump. This dude could shoot a fly from 1,000 yards away. When I put him in a situation, maybe 200 pages into the book, and you see him with that sniper rifle, what you gonna think? He about to nail him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the anticipation in the writing that I just continue to try to cultivate when I write these stories. I want to give that setup and payoff.
Wow.
Where the audience is just sitting there going, "Oh man, I know what time it is." You know what I'm saying?
Anticipation, man.
So yeah.
That's dope, man. Where's your lab at, man? Like, how do you find that writing time? Where do you go get in that quiet space? How do you get in that quiet space? Is this something you think about? Well, man, tonight I got this, I got that. It's date night, but I got to get this out of me. I got to write. How do you go about doing that, man?
Yeah, it used to be, my process was, you know, family man, married with kids, wife. I was up again at 6. I only give myself 5 hours of sleep.
10 at night to 1 in the morning. You're right.
That was my window.
Okay.
Now, if I'm done at 11:30 and I don't have nothing else to put down, because that was one thing I never forced myself to write. If you don't have anything to say, like, you know, don't talk when you got something to say. Don't write unless you got something to write. It's gonna be trash.
Absolutely.
You know, so I would wait, and sometimes it'll go past 1 o'clock. I can't stop because there's just so much in there. And sometimes it's just 12 o'clock. Oh, I'm good. We done? Turn it off, shut it down, get out the office. You know, so now my times have changed a little bit because the kids are older and things like that. But like, you know, now I just told my wife, I said, hey, we got Monday, Tuesday, I want to be digging in this writing. Wednesday, we do our date night. Thursday, I need my mental space time.
That's right.
Friday, we probably back with the kids. Saturday, and if I get time and pockets in between, then I'm gonna jump on it. You know, sometimes at work, I get a little out of time and I got an idea, I just go just knock it out and be done. And that way I don't come home, I'm free because I don't have to dedicate that time at home, you know. So I find it now a little bit easier because again, I'm been writing for this long since 11,
16 then.
Yeah. Now it's like it just shoots off, man. I can knock out like the other night. I told my wife, I was like, oh, I went ahead. She said, how much did you write? I said, I'm not doing like 2,500 words. She's like, wow. You only down there for like an hour and a half. Like, yeah, when it's there,
it's there.
It's just gonna roll. It's just gonna roll. It's not even need to ask for it, you know, because I write off an outline and I just have a 2, maybe 3 or 4 sentence outline for that chapter. End up getting like 2,500 words off of it. Because then the characters start taking you places. Because again, my story is a character starts to show me some stuff about themselves that I didn't even think I was gonna write. But now we're going on this line and I'm playing this, it's like a cat and mouse. He's having a dialogue with somebody pushing a button. How would he respond? He responds. The character responds back. Oh, you gonna escalate? Now we got to go a little bit further in this conversation. And sometimes the dialogues just get long because they haven't let it go. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Wow. And so it's crazy.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. That's a lot to it, man. I respect that, man. For y'all out there, man. Like I said, my man writing books, and he's also a doctor. Right. So I'm laying them out here. I'm stacking them for y'all. You know what I mean? Dog, it pricked me, man, when you said sometimes I write at work. You know what I'm saying? So tell us, man, what you do, man, in terms of your doctor aspect of things, man.
Yeah, physical therapist, been doing it since 2001. Right. This is year like 22 for me. This is crazy. Yeah, bro. Wow. And so I've pretty much been in every setting. I've been in they call them LTACs, long-term acute care. Like, I mean, people who are like you barely got ICU hospital and they're trying to transition you to your next level. I've been in that setting. I've been in ICU. I've been in the neuro wings. I've been in NICU, the little babies where you got to go to the containers with the gloves and they let you manipulate them and everything. I've done that. I've been holding somebody else's child in my hand, trying to get a tube, you know, to get them some nutrition. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of trust, and then I've also been in long-term rehab, like, you know, the nursing homes. I've been in the school system. I started off in the school system, and in my mind, I always knew I wanted to get back to it, but just bouncing around, getting money right, and things like that, the kids again, and the teachers, and that whole system. You know, definitely, I'm putting some mileage on myself, so it's a lot more low key, no doubt, rather than getting on the floor with these stroke patients and everything. That was a lot of work, you know. But I feel like I paid my dues in that, and now I'm back around kids again, and kids are always entertaining if nothing else. So we have a great time. So so I do get a little pockets of time where I could actually, you know, shoot a little something if I'm done with all my kids, and I'm just kind of chilling.
And you get to rotate around school.
Yeah, I've got 15 schools now. Just put about 15 school yesterday. I mean this week, but I tell people, you know, it's more consultative services now. You know, you do a couple of things, you give information to the teachers that they can disseminate to the parents. And then it's more like a team approach, like what can we do to make, you know, Johnny get from here to here better, get his curriculum more appropriately, you know. And so they talk about like, you know, free and appropriate education. Can that child access that? And if it's a mobility issue, then that's where we come in as physical therapists. So. But it's cool. It's great, man. And county's been good.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man. And you were born in what, California, right?
Born in California, Van Nuys, LA.
Yeah, shout out to LA.
Gotta give LA love, man. Can't live there, but I love to visit. LA, moved to Miami probably like 3, and I've stayed put until 04 when I came to Atlanta. And it's been a journey, man.
What made you come up this way, man?
I was looking for opportunity. I felt like when I got out of PT school, when I had my master's, I thought, you know, going into PT school, I was like, man, you know the numbers. I'm gonna make this much money a year, blah, 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 be set. And then by the time I had gotten out, it was different. It was like 3 years of my program, and it was a bottleneck. No matter where you tried to go to get a job, they were playing that game with you. Well, you know, you're just getting out. You have a master's, but blah, blah, blah. So it was always one thing. They play with your money based on, so they know, I got a master's. Well, I know you got a master's, but you're just a new grad. Experience in this. We can't pay you to an internship. You haven't worked yet. So they were always able to play. And I just didn't see a window of making any more money. And I'm like, man, I'm putting all this time and I want to make some money. I want opportunities, really. Getting in low level, I didn't see how it would continue to rise. So started looking around. Didn't mind a change of seasons. And Atlanta seemed okay. A couple of times I'd come up here before with just even competing. Hot summers, and you get, you know, we get all 4 seasons, which was cool. Not too cold, not like freezing, but you know, we've been colder now because all this global warming.
It's cold out there right now.
For real. And so just decided that this is the furthest north I would go. I wasn't gonna go past Atlanta. And so we made up here. A lot of opportunities. Housing market was better.
Man.
I mean, I can't even tell you what I was living in Miami, man, and how much I paid for it, and then how much when I first came. So, and it's ridiculous now.
Right.
So opportunity is really what I wanted to do. And I felt like the soil in Miami was used up. There wasn't a place for me to plant anything. So I just said, let's go somewhere, a nice foundation. Let's get something new started. And it's been good. God's been blessing us, man.
Well, Kizzy already said, man, wherever we all move to, we move in there too. She said, could you imagine being here without Braxton?
That's good, man.
I was like, that would be tough. I said, that would be tough, right?
Yeah.
Real talk, man. But yeah, man, I just appreciate, man, just seeing you be, in terms of just being multifaceted. That is dope, dog. Like it just goes to show, man, that whatever you set your mind to, man, you can definitely achieve it.
Absolutely.
It's no excuse, bro. Absolutely. Everybody, we got a black president now, so it's no excuse. That's still, for me, kind of, okay, 1 out of 46, 47.
Right.
All right, but as my man, I call him B, as B has just displayed just in this little bit of time, man. Going from his days in school down in Miami, then we hop into the writing space, which ultimately, he's the CEO of his own publishing company, man, out here, making big things happen, and also a doctor as well, man. Like, but again, with all of that said, we hardly ever talk about that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the norm. But the beauty that I really look at, man, is, and the reason why I wanted to be on this moment, Braxton.
Absolutely.
Dog, you're a great leader, dog.
Oh, thank you.
Like when we just have so many funny stories, man, different times that Braxton have us all cracking up. You know what I'm saying? And just that brotherly love, man. And we get a lot of fellas that watch this podcast, brother, and I talk to a lot of partners, man, and they talk about the power of community, man, amongst us as men.
Amen.
And I can promise you, man, me and Braxton, we found our niche, man, in terms of, looking out for each other. If he's out of town or whatnot, hey, Neil, Tim, grab my stuff for me, man, off the porch. It may rain or whatever, taking each other's trash up and down. And just yesterday, man, he brought us a big old nice, they were on 12, they were on Krispy Kreme donuts, dog. Anytime your neighbor knocked on the door, I brought you some Krispy Kreme. Come on, man, you can't beat that.
No, you ain't gonna beat it.
Dog, you can't beat it. So I really appreciate you, man, when it comes down to just those simple things. Man. It goes a long way, bro. And again, man, it's near and dear. Kizzy and Braxton, my wife, for those of you out there that don't know, my wife, we talk a lot, man, about, the importance of, community, I said it earlier, and the fact that, when her and I moved to this neighborhood, we didn't know anybody. And again, over time, once we started, interacting more, Braxton and his wife, other, individuals throughout the neighborhood, met another gentleman that lives down the street from us, Mr. Henry. And then to find out that you all had ties, and every so often, we get together, go play golf, Top Golf or whatever the case may be, and just keeping that brotherly commune, man. So that's very important, man. I know you're a big time movie buff, dog.
No. I was always a movie buff. Okay. And so you asked me before how I got into this. 2010, I remember being in church, and my bishop was preaching, and he said, right now, he had a moment. It was in the middle of the sermon. He said, right now, I think God is talking to me. And he's saying that there's some people out there in the pews that he wants to use to do something, but they're not asking. Like, what do you need to do?
Okay.
And from that moment, I had I tell people it's an Isaiah moment where it's like, here I am, God, choose me. So I felt that. And immediately I started praying. I said, well, God, what would you have me do? I mean, what would I do? And he my pastor talking back. And it may be something that you've never done before that he wants you to do.
Right.
So I kind of perked up and prayed. And I promise you, I heard this person say, write a book. And I'm sitting like, what? Write a what? Because I never. And
you heard that
and
spirit.
yes.
Yeah.
And I said, what would I write? And he said, from all the movies like that, because I would look at movies like, man, it was really nice. That was a good movie, but I wish they had done this.
Mm-hmm.
Or this one scene, man, it would have been dope if they had done this too. Or if they would have ended it this way. Like that's how I would look at movies.
Mm-hmm.
He said, all those things that you wanted them people to do in their movies, put it in your book.
Right.
I was like, okay,
wow,
that makes sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I started sketching out a storyline right there in church on the back of the pamphlet. Notes and everything. I'm talking about, it just started flowing from me. Long story short, I started writing a book, and I was with a job where I was traveling. So I had my laptop. I remember I came back from dinner. I was like, I'm about to get into this thing tonight. And I started typing, and I started getting a little bit of writer's block. And then it's like while I was doing it, I promise you, Holy Spirit started just telling me everything that I would eventually have with these stories. Say, your character's going to be on lunchboxes. Kids going to buy posters from you. You're going to be at conventions talking. And I closed the laptop. I said, that's too big for me. I'm not doing that. I didn't get into this to do that. Closed the laptop, man. I went and laid on my bed and turned the TV on.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Wow.
I was out. I was done. The vision was too big for me. Dude from Liberty City, Miami, you don't tell me something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God was saying, and I hope that you would choose life.
Right.
That choice. Whether I do this right now or not is really on me.
Right. Right.
And so I was thinking like blessings or curses, life or death. Not that the books were that, but I realized the value of just making a choice. God can give you the vision. What are you going to do with it? I know so many cats, man. So much talent, so much drive, so many gifts, but they can't make the choice.
Right.
And I just opened that laptop back up, dude, and here I am 18 books later.
God,
ain't turned back yet. Never had a day of writer's block. Never.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And so that was my calling to write. And so I've gotten into this thing now, and it's like, you know, I've written 4 comic books, 18 novels, and 4 screenplays. And people always ask me, what do you like writing the most? I said, all of them are different. All of them take a certain amount of, there's a system again, and structure. We're writing all 3 of those in those 3 mediums. But I really started to love comics. When you see the comics and you get the the words and everything. So it's masterful.
Yeah.
You know?
I know your last series, man, a whole nother level for the graphics.
Man. Yeah. Absolutely.
Dude, is dope.
Oh yeah. So recruiting the right. When I talk about the gifts that I have, it's not in the writing. I don't think it's that. At least I wouldn't say it's that. I think it's in the vision. Like I can see things. And I know how to explain it. So I can put it on paper that when people read it, they see it too. People go, man, I was right there. I can see everything you're talking about. And now in the comics, that love, it's love. When I write that visually and that artist takes that and puts that visually on paper and it looks exactly how, that's love. That's you know what I'm saying? Yes, really and is. So I try to recruit artists. I don't recruit comic book artists. I recruit artists. I say, send me what you have. And the majority of the time they send me they send me some of the comic pages, but they also send me sketches. I want to see that art. Because each one of those little panels becomes art on that page. Wow, dog. And when they can see what I put and I go like, that's exactly what I was looking at. Or most of the time it's actually bigger. It's bigger than what I even saw. You know what's
crazy, Braxton? I'm sitting here thinking about it as you're saying it, bro. That's like Busta Rhymes when he in the studio with Typical.
Yeah.
And that beat come on, you know right then and there. Yo, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. And when you saw them graphics, you knew that's it right there.
Absolutely. And so I did so what God, like you said, the leadership, I had a person tell me the other day, the reason, like, it's a burden to be a leader.
It is.
First of all.
Yes.
People don't get that.
Big time.
In your marriage, whether you want it or not, you're the leader.
It takes leadership.
God has ordained you as the head.
You are the head.
And guess what? Everybody in that house is under your leadership.
That's it, dog.
But a lot of people don't want to follow. light bulb moment.
That's big time light bulb, bro. You know? Everybody right now is saying, that's the light bulb.
And it's exhausting.
That's real, dog.
It's exhausting because you don't ever really you actually never really get a chance to say, screw it. Like everybody else can walk away.
It's no time off.
Everybody else can just walk away and be like, man, forget it. You will always always be called as the leader with that mantle.
Mm-hmm.
And the magic is that if you wanted to at any one time, you can make anybody in that house move the way they want. You want them to.
That's a fact.
But it takes a lot of sacrifice to do that.
Divine intervention too.
It takes a lot of sacrifice to do that, because I'll be sitting there with a situation in my house, and I'll be like, man, why they not doing this? Why they not doing that? And God will be like, but you can't act like
just
that.
Laughing. I'm laughing, dog. It's like Bob Leslie, dog. We keep it 100, dog. We keep it a buck. It's times I see Braxton on the back porch. Hey, Neil, you need a drink? I'm like, yes. Because, like you said, man, it's leadership.
Yeah,
bro. It requires a lot of us, man.
So guess what? If you move the right way, they'll move.
It's gonna move
the right way.
That's a fact.
If you sit around and wait on them, they don't have a leadership mantle. So why would they? Why would you wait on them?
No, you can't.
So it's a heavy burden.
Right.
But somebody gave me that, and I said, man, I just feel like they're waiting on me. Isn't that where they're supposed to?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't about like follow the leader. This is how this works. You have the leadership mantle. It's on you.
It's on you.
And so when you talk about leadership, to me, it's just that. It's just like, hey, I gotta have to sit back, in my business and wait on this author to do this artist to do this, or I can just go ahead and facilitate.
Make things happen.
I can sit back and wait, and that's all we're gonna have is wait.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
You said the word. You said it, man. You said action. You know what I'm saying? That it really requires action.
Yes.
Man. You know what I'm saying? Like it requires a sense of, man, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done.
Boom.
It's just that simple.
Boom.
It's not that others won't plug in or assist or help, but most of the time it's manifesting and taking that step to put it forward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm 100%.
And a lot of times I would hear God, like I'll be seeing something like, man, well, why are these clothes on the floor? He say, you see it, why don't you pick it up?
Right.
What you mean? Now what's gonna happen is you feel, I know I do, if I keep picking it up, then they're never gonna pick it up.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna get it.
But again, sometimes it's about just sowing the seed.
Sometimes you got.
I tell my oldest daughter all the time. I said, let me tell you something. Life is a very, very simple principle. It's seed and harvest.
That's it, though.
If you really just use that principle,
mustard seed.
Just use that principle in your daily life.
Come on, man.
If you cutting up, what are you sowing the seed for? What are you expecting from cutting up?
The universe is gonna bounce it back to you.
And sometimes God don't even have to get involved.
Yeah.
He say, give and it'll be given unto you.
Yes.
Pressed down, shaken together, running over, will men give into your bosom. So God's like, I'm out of it.
Yes.
Y'all may want to call it karma all you want. That ain't karma.
No,
this is biblical.
This
is biblical.
100%.
You go out and talk enough trash, somebody gonna get you.
Yes.
Somebody gonna get with you because you've sown that seed.
Yes.
You've sown that raft, so you're gonna run into the raft.
Right.
So you sow the wind, but you're gonna receive the whirlwind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Dr. Charles Stanley back in the day, and he always told me, he said, you reap what you sow, greater than what you sow.
100%.
Kizzy gave me that little purple bush that y'all used to have on the side when y'all moved.
That's right.
Gave me maybe 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in the ground. Now you got this big old bush.
That's crazy.
Off of it.
This
we bought those little elephant ear joints. I bought one thing of it. I put it in my front yard one season. It died. Came back. I had like 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I sold, but I got more. And if you could just stay with that, I tell my daughter all the time, stay with it. If you're working hard at work, hopefully you will get paid.
Yes.
Hopefully you will get promoted.
Right.
And that's what you're doing. You're sowing the seed of what you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody sows a watermelon and gets a sunflower seed. It don't happen. It does not happen.
Doesn't happen.
You know what I'm saying? So the leadership mantle is about sowing seed, man. Let me go out here and grind. Let me go out here and do what I need to do. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully these people come. And if they don't come, God will just send the right people who are supposed to be there.
Right.
And so that just becomes a foundation for anything I do. It's just sowing seed. But that leadership mantle, man, it is such a burden because you get tired of it.
Yeah.
I know I do. I'll be like, man, I just want somebody to do this for me one time.
Right.
And sometimes it just don't happen.
It don't happen,
But what a blessing it is that God selects you, hand selects you for a leadership, because he don't give it to everybody.
Everybody don't get that.
I remember Charles Stanley preaching one time. He said, people ask me, well, I pray all the time and God doesn't say anything to me. He say, we already know you ain't gonna listen.
That's right.
What's
I heard a cat say that
What's
earlier.
the point? God not gonna waste his time talking to you. You won't listen.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
I was listening before I came over here. Cat Van Taylor, man. Shout out to Van Taylor. He said, man, some of you're not ready for $1 million.
Right.
God knows that you cannot handle $1 million.
Right.
You know, and be blessed in what you do have in the moment. Right. And as you again sow those seeds, in time it will reveal, man. Yeah. So nah, man, that means a lot, bro. I know you've acted too, man. What was that like, man? I know you and your wife have acted.
Yeah. So, one of my greatest things was I did this Christian short film it was a Christian superhero named Triumphant. Shout out to Tony Van Dyke for that project. That was great.
Shout out to Tony.
But here was a black man, you know, playing this Christian-based character, faith-based character. That was great. And then, the pinnacle of my career was actually me and my wife got recruited by this female director. She's out there now just killing the game. She actually directed a movie that was on I produced. And she's like, and she got nominated for an NAACP award. She saw us early in this other little small music video project, and she was the DP at the time, director of photography. She pulled me and wife to the side. She's like, I just love y'all, because we were both in the video. I just love y'all. I wanted to be in a project, and I'm be shooting out later this fall. You know, you get that from people all the time. Like, yeah, okay, we'll do it. Like, she gonna call back or whatever. Finally did. Yeah, recruited it, and me and my wife were in this great project. And it was great because we were the parents of this young girl, and it was called Feminine. Okay. Y'all check it out on YouTube if you go look it up, Feminine. And thousands of views and everything, but just kind of being opposite my wife in that movie. And we actually had our real names too. Yeah. That was great. My wife is a killer.
No doubt.
She's amazing. She's a killer actress. Yeah. I'm just holding my own.
That's right.
But to be doing my thing with her, that was amazing. That really was. I said, David, we're gonna always have this.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Dog. No matter what anybody does, we're gonna be 90 years old. We're gonna always have
that. That is dope.
And that is great, you know. So we had that chemistry too. It was natural. It was great. Really
that's
great.
Cool, man. Oh, you've done a lot, bro.
Yeah.
And you what, Braxton? How old are you now? 46?
I'll be 47 this year. Yeah, man.
Me too, bro.
Getting close to the 50.
Yeah. We got a few years left. No, bro. You know, man. I mean, I love you to death, bro.
Yeah, man. Love you too, man.
Your family, man. And I love chopping up with you. I love hearing your stories, learning about different ventures you've had in life.
Yeah.
So it's great, man. I don't know, man. I think sometimes, man, and this is to you all out there watching, man. We ask ourselves as men, am I being a good husband to the best of my ability? Am I doing the things that's necessary? We always have those moments. I know I do. I know Braxton.
Absolutely.
We transparent.
Absolutely.
We real dudes, man.
Yeah.
Regardless of what, we've been through all that, man. Hey, we real dudes. And there's times that I'll be honest, man, like just seeing Braxton, man, it brightens up my day, bro.
Amen.
That's real talk. And it's like, man, I see Braxton out front pulling weed. Right. And I'll be like, man, that's what's up, dog. My dog out there pulling weed, doing what we got to do in the back. And we said it, not long ago. We live in pretty nice homes, man. Thanks be to God, man.
Amen.
God has been an amazing provider for us, man. And we said it, not long ago, man. It's a lot to maintain. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like it really is. And to see Braxton doing what he do, it really inspires me, man, motivates me, bro. And I'm just grateful, man. And I always say, man, like, hey, you are a high-powered professional leader, dog.
Amen.
Like I know some great dudes. I know some not so great dudes.
Right.
But man, I promise you, dog, you're a great man. And I tell my sons all the time, like, hey, man, Mr. Braxton's great. They know that, man.
That's
just from the time they've spent with you, man.
That's good.
And I appreciate you being that example to them, man.
Nah, man. Anytime, like I said, because I grew up in a house without my dad.
Right. And
anytime I could associate, what was great about what God did is I saw it early on. I kept saying, oh, you keep putting another one in here. Where there's no man here. I had men who I took parts of men.
Right.
Never had a full father figure, but I took parts of them, and I left the bad stuff off.
Right.
So I kept trying to formulate in my mind what kind of man would I become based on this one's work ethic. I might not like how they do this, but they work hard. They do this. Okay,
Right.
diligent. They're this. They're that. They have a voice. Some of them talk a little trash. I might need a little trash in me too, you know. I might need to handle mine, you know what I mean?
That's right.
So I took pieces of men.
Yeah.
And so my thing is now, whenever I'm around young men, I want to give them something they can take.
That's right.
That they can kind of say, hey, you know, I remember Mr. Braxton used to do that. I'm gonna do that too. And if that's it, then that's good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm just glad that I actually have an opportunity to facilitate into your boys.
No doubt.
You know, as much as y'all can facilitate, you know, when Avian comes to town too. I saw y'all there talking. I saw y'all there talking the other day. I said, Neil got him.
Yeah, I said,
Neil got him.
I got him, though.
And she said, oh yeah, I ain't worried about it. You know,
great conversation too, bro.
Yeah,
it was, and it started with what we love, all basketball.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, man, you play basketball in high school?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. And he lit up. He beamed up.
Oh, that was it.
Once we started talking about Iverson shaking Jordan, and he's like, man, Mr. Neal, I'm a Kobe guy.
They all talking about these stories today, like what it was like being in that presence of Mike Jordan, being in that presence of Kobe Bryant, bro.
See, in my opinion, I know statistically Kobe Bryant is not the GOAT. It's always going to be Jordan or LeBron, give or take. But Kobe has always been my favorite player. All time. And that's not changing just because, I mean, I love Kobe. Kobe was my Jordan growing up.
Doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Kobe, right after Jordan, it was Kobe's league, man.
It was Kobe's league.
Kobe is my favorite player. Still is, and it will be that way, man. But,
to me,
you know,
Mike Jordan, Kobe are in a complete league of their own to me.
I'm Kobe. Yeah. I love Kobe. It ain't LeBron for me. So, you know, man, it's just that blessing, man. And I'm so proud of him. Like I told him, man, like, hey, bro, you doing what you need to do, man. And it goes back to, like you said, the great example, man. He's got great example around him, man. And I know for sure, man, you know, it's just amazing how quick it's went by, man.
Absolutely.
Because it feels like he's still like a freshman or a sophomore.
We were tracking this the other day. I said, hey, man, you know, I met you when you was 11. He was like, you think so?
Yeah, man.
I said, it's been that.
Yeah. Well, bro, listen, man. I love you again.
Yeah, man.
I've said it about 5 times on here.
Yeah.
Men are vulnerable enough to tell each other that they love them. You know what I'm saying? If you got partners out there and you can't look them in the face and say, I love you, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Amen.
I thank you, bro. Hey, bro, you missing out.
It don't make you weak, it makes you strong.
That's 100% Braxton, man.
Absolutely.
You know, some of the toughest dudes in the world, man. You know, hey, we need each other, man.
Amen.
You know, we not sitting here saying all these things for no reason.
Yeah.
God blessed us, bro. This was the last home we were supposed to move into. We were supposed to move way down South Atlanta. We didn't even see this house before we bought this house, man. You know, and next thing you know, man, we look up and it's like, man, it is great to have great neighbors,
That's good,
bro.
man. Absolutely.
Just to have great neighbors, bro. Like,
That's
I mean,
blessing,
that is huge. I really want to thank you, and man, for inviting us over, man. You know, movie nights and
fight night.
Fight nights. You know what I'm saying? We're doing it, dog. We get laced up for different parties and Halloween and all of that, man. And it's been a blessing. And I tell you, Braxton, transitioning out of the military, bro.
Yeah.
You've been a cornerstone.
Oh, good, man.
And helping me, bro. You know what I'm saying? To keep me grounded and them days that I'm stressed out and all of that, man. And
anytime, man.
You've helped me a lot, man.
Yeah,
and I appreciate
we need stuff to bounce. We need a sounding board. They don't give men enough credit that we need that. Especially now you wear the leadership mantle. You're the man. And we're just like, nah, don't cry, don't be sensitive, don't do this and that. Don't act like this. That they have kind of programmed how men should be.
That's a fact.
And we don't have enough time to be who we want to be. You know what I mean? And I think that's why you have a lot of the rates of teenage suicides going up. But people they're not allowed to be who they want to be. You know, so I appreciate that I can be in a place to do that for you. I've been inspired and encouraged by you and your family. You got these 2 young boys. I mean, like I said, that retirement, seeing those 2 young men up there, man, I was like, man, that's a blessing, man.
Yeah, it is.
That man is so blessed to have these boys that look up to him in that way. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And so, like I said, you were a surrogate father even in the role you were in. So you've been a huge encouragement to me, a blessing to me, y'all family, man. I think I told my wife all the time, I said, man, we are blessed that we have good neighbors. Right. We really, really are, man. That's because huge, at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of the day, somebody come to my back door. If Kizzy or Neil see it, you gone. Hey, I ain't gotta worry about it. Right. I'm not gonna worry about it. All I gotta do is
this whole perimeter is covered, bro.
All I gotta do is make the call. So don't do it. Yeah. Don't do it. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, because if I don't see it, they gonna see it. And so and vice versa. If I see somebody in their back door, pal, nobody now.
That's it, dog. That's how we rocking with it, bro. Yeah. Any parting words for the people out there, man?
You want to come check me out, man?
Yeah, please.
You can go to my production company. My wife owns it, so it's Black owned. Mm-hmm. I'm the CEO. Take care of the day-to-day, all that other stuff. But you can go to CosbyMediaProductions.com. Trust me, there's a book there that you want to read. We got it in 100%. Ebook, audiobook, and paperback.
Right.
We're in production of 8 audiobooks right now, Neil. That's a blessing. I told my wife, I said, we got 8 being produced right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Check out the Mr. and Mrs. Health and Beauty. You can find us on YouTube, and you can also find us on Facebook. Okay. And we do videos and things like that. And then just support, man, whatever you can. Pray. You just want to pray for me. You ain't got to buy nothing. Just pray for me, man. We good. I am so good with that. And I'm so real about that. But again, men, leadership mantle, take it, own it. Don't expect anything from anybody on that other side.
Right.
Because it's about you first. Everybody will follow your lead. Can you lead independent of any expectations of somebody else?
Yeah,
that's the question you ask yourself. And if you can do that, and you gotta be perfect, man. It may be some days you leading like crazy. Everybody following. Another day you're resisting. Right. Another day you're just tired of it.
Yeah,
have that moment, but then have somebody like this man here
and this man right here
that you can go and talk to about it, man.
That's right.
And you need spiritual counseling in everything you do.
Yeah, man.
God is the same God today as he was yesterday, as he was years before.
That's right.
And he's going to continue to lead you, no doubt, but you just have to be intentional about everything you do. Right. And that's what I am. I just try to be intentional. Everything. I don't want any wasted motion, no wasted energy. Just keep it moving forward.
Right. I appreciate you, brother.
Nah, man, I love you, man. Thanks a lot for the opportunity to speak. This is great. Yeah.
Hey, like I said, it's my neighbor. Definitely won't be the last time, man. We thank you all out there. And as always, we say peace.